and strong. Talking Tigers all morning long. Saints exceed headlines on the screen. Breaking it down with a little caffeine. Grab your mug, come on in. Let's wake this day and let it begin. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. Where the coffee's hot, the takes are hotter.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call the winner of the best roofing company in the best of Baton Rouge, Parish Construction and Roofing. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Boatcock Brothers, premium cigars. Code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. And FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Okay, good morning, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here. We appreciate you for being with us. Another tumultuous day in Baton Rouge. A lot of negative pub nationally directed at LSU. Lane Kiffin did meet with reporters. We won't speak to him again until Monday of game week. So his Monday presser, that'll happen, every Monday before the luncheon, that'll happen before a game week or on game week on Mondays. So Lane spoke about 25 minutes and answered a lot of questions about this new wave of portal players who are gaining eligibility through their TROs across the country. Shortly thereafter, LSU got a commitment from Zxavien Harris. Of course, something that I've been telling you was going to happen for a while now. For days. So Zxavien Harris was a heavy lean LSU. The running back from SMU, I'm told, is a heavy Missouri lean. Obviously, Ahmad Hardy, their great running back, was shot this offseason and is not going to be ready for the start of the season. So real need there. And a good player, but LSU still not done. So, and then R.J. Lewis was granted his injunction. That was the former Big East Player of the Year. It's I try to look at each of these situations case by case, and not to paint with a broad brush. Like, I think it is very easy to say the optics of a player going from the pros back to college is bad, and that's objectively true. The optics of that are very bad. But as I've said here many times, like, I have a sliver, like a modicum of sympathy for those 2022 players who were told they were out of eligibility, so they left, and then were told, oh, wait, psych, you do have eligibility, but you can't come back. Like, that sucks. So I kind of get it. The R.J. Lewis situation for me is completely different. He played 3 years of college. He left, and he left, chose to leave, and then it didn't work out, and now he's trying to come back, and so went to court, and LSU supporting him in that endeavor, and I'm not okay with that. So you could say I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I don't see it that way. Like, I fully support Will Wade bringing the international players because that's completely legal. There's no rule against that. And college basketball rosters are littered with international players who have professional experience internationally. So I have no problem whatsoever with that. The RJ Lewis situation is different because that's a guy who played 3 years, chose to leave, went to the draft, went undrafted, signed a two-way deal in the G League, or signed a two-way deal, and therefore making himself ineligible for college basketball. And now wants to come back because it didn't work out. I'm not okay with that. So anyway, I'm sure y'all got a lot to say. Let's fire away, see what y'all got. Hey, Michael, good morning. What fines or penalties do you envision the SEC levying against LSU if RJ Lewis plays this season? Yeah, none. If you play, and I got this clarification from another attorney yesterday, one who's very involved in all of this stuff. And LSU hired a firm. I shouldn't say LSU. These athletes hired a firm out of South Carolina, and then they had to get local counsel, which is why Tony Clayton represented the players in that TRO lawsuit. But remember, as I understand it, when the attorney files for the TRO, they include in it the SEC's, I forget what they call it. Whatever the policy is that would allow the SEC to punish the school, they include that policy in the TRO so as to say it could not come back and retroactively punish. That's the NCAA. Could not come back and retroactively punish the school if the player is ineligible. Now, to your point about the SEC, I don't know. The SEC can't make you forfeit a game. The NCAA doesn't govern NCAA athletics. The NCAA does. Could they fine players? Could they fine the school? Could they suspend a coach? I suppose. But as far as like forfeiture of games, that's not within their purview. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Trivia, good morning. Fabian, morning, Matt. I live in Cecilia, working for Polk. Morning Scoot makes the drive less terrible. I love that, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, Adam, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Brian, good morning. From Superior, Wisconsin, up here by Canada. It's a balmy 59. Okay. DJ, good morning from the WB. Hope all is well. The cold plunge awaits. I can't wait to get back in mine. I started my sauna again. So 2 nights in a row back in the sauna, but I still can't submerge myself in water. So hopefully soon. I'm about to just do it anyway. Hey, Brian, good morning. Devin, good morning. Getting closer. It's about to go down in Tiger Stadium. Christian, good morning. Got to imagine the NCAA isn't regretting at this point not doing the same thing they did for COVID and give these guys another year. Well, that's the thing, Christian. Like, that's the weird part that in Lane, I thought Lane did a good job explaining this yesterday. They do have another year. Like, the NCAA changed the eligibility rules, so those guys have another year. But under NCAA rule, they also went pro, so they're ineligible. But the only reason they went pro is because the NCAA told them, you're out of eligibility. Oh, wait, you're not actually out of eligibility. You have eligibility, but you can't come back. Like, I get it. Like, I understand the argument. I mean, I hate the optics like all of you do of a player having worn an NFL uniform and then coming back to college. But I also understand, like, the NCAA screwed this up. Like, hey, Mike, like, a lot of people hated 7th-year players, but understood why everyone got a year for COVID. RSP, good morning. Jeezy, good morning. I'm here for it all. Hey, Patrick, good morning. Air in the lungs, blood flowing, eyes are open. We're all blessed. Have a great day. Thanks, man. Hey, Mike, good morning. Thanks for what you do. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Brian, I love when everybody hates on LSU. That means they're doing something good. Well, I don't know if it means they're doing something good, Brian. It certainly means that they're relevant because if you weren't relevant, nobody would care, Notice nobody's talking about the linebacker who was in camp with the Browns from James Madison, who was the conference player of the year, defensive player of the year, was in camp with the Browns, got cut, and then entered the transfer portal, and now is at UCLA. Nobody's talking about that. Hey, Trivia, good morning. Clayton, good morning. TRO Gate continues. Bubba, Craig, Kevin, Brian, good morning from Pensacola. All right, Brian. Phil, good morning. Brian, remember the comments Harris made about Lane after he left? Wonder if he's slightly weird from coming back to his coach. So Zxavien Harris made some very bombastic comments about Lane Kiffin during the college football playoff. Like, we know what a real coach is like. He was just trying to steal our shine, on and on and on. I don't think Lane cares at all because Lane just wants to win, and they need defensive linemen, and Zxavien Harris can help them win. Hey, Lauren, got a bad feeling commissioner's not going to let Harris or Wright play. He doesn't have the autonomy to do that. Did you notice the statement the SEC put out yesterday? They didn't threaten any action. It was just, we think this is really bad, is basically all they said. Hey, club, good morning. Patrick, with these recent rulings, have you heard anything about LSU sports being affected? Well, I mean, you've already seen basketball. I mean, basketball added the point guard from UCLA late last week. Baseball, I doubt it. Their roster's full. I can't imagine baseball adding anybody. And I don't know about other sports. Leslie, hey, Brad, good morning. Why do you dislike when people use the phrase the Wild Wild West? Because it's very tired and cliche. It's what everybody says. I've heard it for 5 years now since NIL went live. It's the Wild Wild West. I'm like, let me just like have Will Smith on cue. Wiki wiki wow, wiki wow wow. It's the Wild Wild West. We roll into the Wild Wild West. Stroll into the Wild Wild. I mean, come on. It's not. There actually are rules and laws. People just don't want to follow. Hey, Janet, enjoyed the Locked On podcast. Feeling more informed than ever. Thank you, Janet. Appreciate that. Alan, good morning. Hope you and your family have a great day. Thanks, Alan. Same to you and yours. Bradlin, Matt, if Lane did this at Ole Miss, no one would care. Just different now in a lot of ways. Hey, Matt. I love the AI song. That's a banger. Hey, Brian. Good to hear Durham had a good scrimmage. We'll have a role this season. I'm sure what that role is, I don't know. Interestingly enough, I did have a coach diagram for me one of the plays that Durham hit the big 70-yarder. And I'm not going to go into all of it here because I ain't trying to give away trade secrets or anything like that. And I can appreciate the access and the candor. But I guess my big takeaway is it was a great illustration of why Lane and Charlie Weiss are such great offensive minds, how they design and call plays to keep the defense flat-footed looking one way, and then before you know it, boom, you're going the other way. And that's what happened on the Durham play. So as to say, I don't know if it was necessarily that Durham made this awesome run. I think it was more they designed a play, and I probably could have had a sizable gain on it. Hey, Dexton, good morning. Let's see, NFL could really kill all this if they had a developmental league like the NBA. No, Jeezy, I disagree with you, man, because like the reason these guys want to come back to college is because of the money they can make. Like if the NFL had a developmental league, these guys aren't making what they're going to make in college. I mean, I can tell you that he didn't get it, but Dae'Quan Wright wanted $1 million from LSU. Now he didn't get it, but he's still he's going to make a very nice 6-figure deal, which he wouldn't make in some developmental league. Hey, Chris, just saw Locked On Ole Miss guys tweet saying, "Oh, Chris, you're the one who set me off yesterday." Hey, Dale, football pundits making predictions before rosters are complete. Yeah. Hey, Jacob, good morning. I wonder what the SEC will do with the transfers that go to schools in the SEC like Harris and Wright. Yeah, again, I don't think the SEC has any autonomy. The SEC can't make you forfeit a game. The SEC could fine a school. The SEC could suspend a coach. Remember the policy that the SEC implemented a few years ago whenever it was Lane actually was impetus for it, was all the players taking a dive to stop the clock. And they determined ultimately they would retroactively, if they determined that it was intentional, I think you'd fine, and then they would suspend the coach. You could do that. But then again, can you really suspend a coach for playing a player that's eligible? Because by court order, they're eligible. You see what, again, I'm not making a commentary one way or another. I'm just saying, do you see how in many respects their hands are tied? They lost in court. So if the player's eligible, what do you do? Will Moore, good morning. Thanks for the consistent content. Thanks for being here, Will. Much appreciated. Brad, amazing how quickly the national media moved from the Jaden Daniels story. Man, that's the news cycle. And honestly, if you remember, the Jaden thing blew up on Thursday and then Skip Bertman died that Friday. And so in many respects, especially here, it moved on from that then. Hey, Seth. Good morning. Jared, morning, Matt. Could the Lewis ruling be overturned at a later date? Yes. So there's 3 stages of, as I've been told now, of that eligibility, of the legal process. There's the TRO, which is a temporary. Well, let me hang on. Let me go stop Drew's backpack real quick. Do this, and I'll come back. I'll explain that real quick.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com.
Okay, Parrish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need North Peters, go to Brock. All the subspecialties, they got locations all over Greater Baton Rouge. It's pretty easy. If you need North Peters, you go to Brock. It's just what you do. And if you need a roof, you call us at Parrish. Parrish Construction and Roofing, ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Unique Physique, they got the GLP-1s there. Unique Aesthetics and Wellness is their aesthetics clinic. Laser hair removal, laser therapy, skincare treatments, Botox, Brotox, hormone replacement therapy for women. Ladies, get your levels checked. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars, code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. That is the new football box, the Stadium Series. Showed it to you before. It's awesome. Use the code MAT15. It's a Maduro blend, by the way. Code MAT15 for 15% off your order. And, of course, as always, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner for LSU athletics. So this was the question about the R.J. Lewis ruling being overturned at a later date. So there are 3 different there's 3 steps in the process. One is a TRO, the temporary restraining order. Now, that's only good for 10 days. The judge can elect to extend a TRO should they choose. Well, after the temporary restraint and the temporary restraining order, the defendant doesn't have an opportunity to tell their side of the story. It just, is there enough there to grant this temporary restraining order? The judge did. Next is the injunction process. So, you get a preliminary injunction, which is next in the process, where the defendant does have their option. In this case, the NCAA would have the opportunity to tell their side of the case. This is what happened with R.J. Lewis yesterday. He got a preliminary injunction. Now, typically, as I understand it, if the preliminary injunction is granted, the next step is a permanent injunction, But a lot of times the defendant, in this case would be the NCAA, says, well, if this judge already granted the preliminary injunction, we're not likely going to win, on appeal or in the permanent injunction. So they just withdraw they concede effectively. So that's kind of the process that would play out here. But so anyway, so yes, like the NCAA, so RJ Lewis got a preliminary injunction. The NCAA could continue to the next step of the process to try to prevent him from getting a permanent injunction, but hard to imagine that happening. Joey B, is there any update on GameCoin or Fail Project now? Actually, I think I'm going to have a really good update very soon. And no, it's not a failed project. We've actually never stopped working on it. And I'm excited about it. I've always been excited about it. And there's hopefully some very good news I'll be able to share very soon. And I have explained before, but many people just don't want to hear it. The what happened with the SEC and the original developer. I'm more than happy to explain any of that to you if you'd like. But I have 9 minutes left in the show, so we'll do that another time. Hey, Rocky, good morning. Brad, what do you think about Deshaun Watson being named the starter? I guess they think he's their best option in Cleveland. The teeth gnashing by the media and other fan bases is really comical at this point. Well, the point that, I get that LSU is a convenient target because it's a big brand and it's Lane Kiffin and all that. The thing that I continue to say is, Texas brought an offensive lineman back from the NFL. We just talked about the linebacker who's transferring, who was with the Browns, went back, and now he's transferring from James Madison to UCLA. There's going to be more cases all over the country of players. I just told you the running back from SMU is very likely to land at Missouri. So, it's easy to take the shot at LSU. Take the shot, LSU. But they're far from the only one. Matt, one thing that's annoying is when reporters ask Lane the same question over and over. Find something else to ask so we can get actual info. Yesterday was bad. What do you mean? You have to be more specific. Yesterday, I felt like we got a lot of the questions off that we needed to with respect to the TRO. How does it affect your roster, numbers, finances, the SEC policy? I asked specifically when these players might be on campus. A lot of questions that he deflected, but still questions that need to be asked. He can do with it what he wants, but still questions that need to be asked. Let's see. Good morning. Was that Collis Temple asked the question? It was Big Collis. I don't know why he was there yesterday, but he was in the press conference. That was him. Hey, Shane, college football is pro football. Why can't anyone wrap their head around that? Because while I agree with you in principle, it's technically not. Do you know what I mean? You can say it is, but the players are not employees. You say, but they get paid, but they don't get paid a salary. They share revenue. So I'm just talking about in a literal sense, right? In a legal sense here. So look, players have tried to unionize in courts consistently, and they consistently lose in court when they try to unionize. So only when college football breaks away will they actually be able to create a pay structure, a pay-for-play structure, and players unionize, and then you'll be able to have a salary cap and all the things. Hey, Dad, good morning. Tiger Diver, will these new football players be good to go for the Clemson game? I think so. Yes, I do. Hey, Hughes, good morning. When did we start clarifying players that never make an NFL final roster, NFL players? Does T-Bob say he was a former NFL player? Honestly, Hughes, I would say yes. He was under contract. He signed an NFL contract. Now, he didn't make the team, but he got paid and did sign an NFL contract. Never played in a game. But was he a professional football player? Yes, he signed a professional football contract and was paid money. Minimal as it might have been. Any insight to Ole Miss using the FBI to sweep for bugs? No. Rob, morning, Matt. I completely agree with you on RJ Lewis. Were there other schools pursuing him or just LSU? Sure there were. It doesn't mean it's okay. They made less forfeit games. So the NCAA made less forfeit games, and because of they retroactively, again, upon investigation, found Vidal Alexander to be ineligible because his dad got paid for a no-show job. That is different from this because the injunction, right? Or in this case, the TRO, which will eventually be the injunction because the injunction hearing is on the 31st, next Monday. If they get the injunction, which I assume they will, that prohibits the NCAA from being. Hang on. Go listen to my Locked On from yesterday during the day. That'll help explain it more. I'll walk through it. I don't have my notes in front of me. I forget exactly what they call it, but it's whatever the punitive part of the NCAA's rule book there. Like the attorneys got hip to this, started writing that into the TRO. So, and the judge typically agrees. So the NCAA cannot retroactively punish teams for using the players because they are legally eligible while they play. Jeezy, good morning, Matt, from BR Trucking in Tennessee. Okay. Thomas, does the 5 for 5 mean Milam could potentially come back for yet another year? I wouldn't expect it, but you never know. Yes. Think about all the seniors on this football team that have played 4 years that came in 2023. They would have another year. They could all come back. So to answer your question, yes, Stephen Milam could play another year. But look at, this is something Lane talked about whenever this kind of went, he's like, I don't even know how to classify them anymore. Are they super seniors? What happens? Because for example, okay. So Aluba, TJ Daugherty, Trey Brown, Braylon Moore, Shone Washington, Bo Bordelon, Caden Martin, Seth Nothey, those are all fifth-year seniors. Now, here's your fourth-year guys. Prince Will, Jace Brown, Ty Benefield, Whit Weeks. Those are your seniors that have played 4 years that all now have another year. So Prince Will, Jace Brown, Ty Benefield, and Whit Weeks could all come back for 2027 if they wanted to. Now, I don't think they will, but they could. They all have another year now under the new 5 for 5 eligibility ruling. Couple more minutes. Hey, Brent, good morning. Talking Sporty TV, go Bears. Timbo, good morning. Woody, good morning. Clint, good morning. I can't see the SEC deeming these players ineligible. They would have stepped in and already said no. The SEC, remember, the SEC cannot declare them ineligible. The SEC does not have autonomy to tell a player they're eligible or ineligible. The NCAA can do that. So the lawsuit is against the NCAA. The SEC is basically pointing their finger at it, going, we don't like this at all. MMCK for life. Morning, Matt. Drive from home to Baton Rouge every day, and morning show makes it seem way shorter. Awesome, man. Thanks so much for being there. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Started watching your show about 2 months ago. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Joe. Glad to have you here, man. Keep coming back. We're here every morning. Hey, Carrie. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Brian, I guess we should embrace the villain role. I mean, by now, it ain't changing. Harris, can you go through the NFL draft process 2 times? So that's a good question. And I will tell you this, that in the conversations I've had with several agents, they seem adamant that these players would be able to go through the draft again next year. Now, remember, agents don't control the NFL draft process, and the NFL don't need any of these players. And I think this is my opinion is ultimately this is going to reflect negatively on all these players because the NFL doesn't need the distraction. The NFL doesn't need Dae'Quan Wright or Zxavien Harris or Jack Pyburn or any of these guys. So I think it's going to reflect negatively on them next year when they try to go back. But if they can get a big lick this year. So, hey, Shelby, good morning. Ready for the offseason to be over with. Once the game starts, all these conversations will take a back seat. That's true to a degree. Hey, John, good morning. All the uproar around these returning players feels a lot like a lot of folks don't know what they're discussing, or even if they do, they're being willfully obtuse. That is true. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Cole Kubelik, and I heard Cole Kubelik say yesterday that these players chose to go pro and sign contracts. Like, they willingly left. No, they didn't. They were told they had to leave because they were out of eligibility. And then it was like, oh, wait, psych, you actually do have eligibility, but you already left, so you can't come back, which is like, wait a minute. I wouldn't have left if you told me I had eligibility. That's what the court is saying. Okay, I got to go, y'all. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate us, leave a review. My apologies if I missed you. Y'all, do me a favor, please smash the like button, all that stuff. Locked on LSU, I'm trying to churn out 2 a day, one around, mid-afternoon or early afternoon, and then obviously my evening time episode that drops. It's there for you in the morning when you wake up with a late night crowd. But please catch up on Locked On. I'd appreciate it greatly. AFR at 3. And Skip Urban's Celebration of Life is tonight at the PMAC. Doors open at 6 with the celebration beginning at 7. So hope to see a lot of y'all there. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you. Have an awesome